Welcome to the Encouragement Engineering Podcast. We combat negativity that inundates our daily lives with a positive perspective and positive action. Today's guest is Lane Bulger. Our guest today is an entrepreneur and a disciplined advocate that has overcome depression and anxiety to be a confident, selfless man. Lane is an advocate of self-learning, fitness, nutrition, and a life coach, and has many interests and skills, including studying financial history and macroeconomics. He and his wife built their home on 20 acres and cut 95% of the lumber used from their sawmill. He is also a real estate agent and owns his own sawmill. His mindset is to overcome previous issues and focus on self-discipline, and that's helped guide him to coach others and achieve many great things currently and in the future for his two beautiful daughters. So please welcome to the show, Lane Bulger. Lane, thank you so much for taking the time today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate that.
Not
good
a
intro.
problem. Yeah. Well, tell us about you and how you got to where you are, so people know, a little bit more about the background. I mean, the bio tells one thing, but let's hear it from you. How did you get there?
Well, I live in central Alabama, a place called Childersburg, town of about 5,000. My dad is a pipe fitter at a paper mill. My mom works at a high school.
Okay.
Nothing crazy as far as growing up, just average kid, 4A high school, played football. When I graduated, I started a landscaping company, cutting a lot of grass. My dad started taking me cut yards when I was 14.
There you go.
So kind of he built that, that work ethic early.
Good.
And I just had that hustle mentality. I just wanted money and, I always wanted to provide. And I come from a lot of hard workers. So that was kind of that was the beginning, nothing crazy. And I graduated high school, went to community college, still was running my own business, just cutting grass. And I met my wife, and she was going to school in Auburn.
Okay.
And it was hard to, live here and work, it's about an hour and a half away.
Mm-hmm.
So met her, and after a week, me and her started talking. She kind of talked me into moving to Auburn, and I wanted to try to continue to get an MBA from Auburn.
Okay.
And went up there, took a few classes, and decided that wasn't for me. And decided to get a business degree from Faulkner University, a private school. Got the business degree. And eventually she got a psychology degree and a Spanish degree. And for some reason we moved back home, and that's kind of been we got married, had 2 kids, and here we are.
There you go. Well, congratulations on the kids. I've seen pictures and, the beautiful little girls. So
Thank you.
Definitely, you got your hands full.
I do, for sure.
And it's interesting because your path is kind of all over. And I know a lot of people, maybe a lot of the listeners are thinking the same thing. Well, I've been here, I've been there, I've been going all over. I mean, you got a business degree, you got a sawmill, doing landscaping, you got, all kinds of things. And that's that hustle mentality. Do you think that has helped you grow from that, anxiety and depression that you used to have?
So I've been studying psychology, mm-hmm. and I've been understanding that I'm an addictive, obsessive person. And there are addictive, obsessive people. A lot of your business owners, your football coaches, like a Michael Jordan, a Nick Saban, a lot of those guys are obsessive. Mm-hmm. And just recently did I understand that's what I was. Okay. So when I get into something, it's all in.
Right.
And that's what I look back at my life and notice, like, that's what it was. So when I get into cutting wood with the sawmill, then I just kind of take off and I said, I'm gonna build a house.
Yeah.
Or, hey, listen, I kind of want to do real estate. I'm all in. So it was really, I'm kind of getting off subject here. What was the question exactly?
Well, do you think that helped you overcome your anxiety and depression?
No, I wouldn't say so. As far as the anxiety, depression, I would say what really happened with it, for some reason, I was getting, I had a, beautiful wife, beautiful family, and I was always money driven. Mm-hmm. And it just wasn't filling that gap, filling that hole. And I started drinking alcohol. Mm-hmm. And I was, in the closet drinking, and especially COVID. I guess we could go back to COVID after, that kind of hit, and just a lot of the weight of the world. And I just, for some reason, something wasn't adding up. And I've been watching my guy on YouTube, And I've been listening for a couple of years, and he was really preaching this discipline. And man, I'd never heard anybody really talk the way he did. But I didn't think he was talking to me. I thought he was talking to everybody else.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you. So where the anxiety and stuff I think comes from is the comfort. I was getting comfortable. I wasn't pushing myself. I was making plenty of money, had a beautiful family, and just the comfort was killing me. And but I hadn't worked out since high school, and that's where the nutrition and fitness comes. And
Okay.
that's kind of what he coached there, as far as getting it dialed in. I'm sorry, I'm everywhere right now, but
No, that's all right. That
yeah,
actually steps into another great idea here if you think about it. I mean, you go into the fitness nutrition scenario and working out. I mean, that's a shift in discipline because
absolutely.
yeah, I know, people always, they'll show you results and so forth. And I mean, you've got some great pictures on and your profile about that, which is interesting. And on our marketing slide, when this comes out, people, you'll see it. But because I got the one where your arms are up like that with your two
Yeah.
daughters. And the physique, I mean, you see that long-term picture, but step us back. How did you go, okay, from, if you will, drinking in the closet to, I got to get out of this rut and start going after that? Tell us that process if you could.
Okay. So the funny thing about it is, and what he preaches and what he teaches, and it was Wes Watson's the guy that was my mentor and really helped me. You don't really even, so when I first started, I didn't care anything about working out. I cared nothing about nutrition. I cared nothing about fitness. My mind, it was all mental. I knew I needed help. And that was the one thing that I've always been really, really good at, is if I have a problem, you're going to know it. Like, I don't have a lot of, ego when it comes to, if I can't figure something out, like if you're good at solar panels, I'm going to come ask for help.
Yeah.
I know I don't know anything about solar panels. A lot of people have trouble asking for help, and I don't. Right. I know when I don't know something, but I'm also confident when I do know something. So I knew I needed help, and I knew he wasn't preaching fitness and nutrition. He never does. But fitness and nutrition is a must if you're going to be mentally and I feel like spiritually sound.
Right.
If you read the Bible, all the religious texts, it's all about taking care of the temple.
Yeah.
Really, really concentrating on that. And I just think that as a society, we've gotten softer throughout the years, and the food has taken over. And they didn't have to talk about it like they did 2,000 years ago because it wasn't an issue. And now people are so comfortable that it's become more of an issue, and so we kind of got to talk about it. Right. So, and I've always said this: I'm not a nutrition fitness. That's kind of like 2% of what I do, if that
right.
makes sense.
Right.
And that's where I kind of separate myself, I guess, from a lot of the fitness coaches or nutrition coaches. Yes, it's 100% of what you have to do, but it's only 2 or 3% of like the real, I guess, story, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that does. And it's interesting because the mental capability you need for that. I mean, you take running, for instance. I don't like running, but I know it's good for you. It just, right now I'm older. I'm not 18 anymore. It kills my knees. But I know walking helps. I know other fitness things help. And I'll get up knowing that, okay, that fitness piece, that helps me to keep my body sound. Like you said, taking care of the temple. It helps my mind keep clear. It helps my body. It helps movement. It helps me keep fit. I want to be around for a long time. And I've got that gene, so I hope to take care of that and go as far as I can with a lot of help. Because when your health starts to decline, your mentality, that's why you see older people in the nursing homes that are depressed, they're angry, they can't do what they used to do. You think that helps to do other things too? I mean, you've got a lot of different interests that you do. I mean, a sawmill, real estate, does that all help to go after those goals as well?
For sure, health is wealth, like you said. You could take a billionaire, a trillionaire. If they don't feel good, they'd give it all. Like I said, if you get sick or handicapped, they'd give it all.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, people don't really, like we talk about, it's people aren't being honest. The reason why they don't want to do it is because the comfort. And this is what I tell everybody that starts, because you have some bigger people or overweight people. Bob, I didn't want to do this either.
Yeah.
I mean, people look at me and think, oh, he's so this and that. I didn't want to, I was lazy. I didn't want to do it. I
Yeah.
didn't feel like doing it. But I had to.
Yeah.
I come to a point where something had to change.
Yeah.
And I actually had a client that's working with me, and he had been to rehab before,
Wow.
and he gave me a really good quote. He said, "The only thing that you have to change is everything."
Mm.
And it
Wow.
meant, it's kind of crazy, but like the mindset just has to change.
Yeah.
But I will say this with what helps a lot, the food, and that's what we really preach. A lot of people say you can't outwork a bad diet, but it's
Yeah.
so true. The reason why people don't feel like working out, the reason why they don't, it's because they're not eating the proper nutrition.
Right.
And that's what I tell these people, like, just once we get you dialed in with your macros, and I never knew what macronutrients were,
Right.
but macronutrients are proteins, carbs, and fat.
Right.
And everybody needs a certain amount of protein, carbs, and fat. And so when we sign people up, that's what we do. We dial in how tall you are, your body type, what fitness level you're at, and what you're trying to get to. We dial those numbers in, and literally magic starts to happen because
Cool.
your mind starts working better, your body starts burning fat. You get rid of a lot of the vegetable oils that are inflaming all your joints,
Yeah.
and all your knees are hurt. Look, my knees hurt, my wrists used to hurt, my back hurts. And like I said, it's not a cure all, but yes, it will, the inflammation goes down immediately. We have a lot of people drop 10 pounds first week,
Wow.
unheard of stuff,
Yeah.
and that's what I learned through my coach. And I had to pay, a lot of money to understand that through him, and learning that. But it's amazing what your body is capable of when you feed it the proper nutrition. And it's something you just have to do, and to really feel it, to understand that. So,
Well, and that's what's interesting too. You say that, when talk about the food, we have that all backwards now. All the stuff they put out there on the market and the food, it's all backwards from what it used to be. That's why our grandparents were in such good health, eating, the bacon, the eggs, and you think, oh, high cholesterol. No, because they were doing that. They were burning. It changed their fitness. They were out there being active. Total different paradigm. And I think we need to, like you said, society needs to get off that comfort thing and the convenience and look back at the true, idea of proper nutrition. I know my son does that. He's a physical trainer as well, and he's going to college, and he's so focused on what he eats because and how it's turned him around with the his fitness and so forth, and his bulk and his nutrition. He's very focused on it, and he's doing very well in school, so it all plays a good effect on that. So thanks for that reminder. Another question that I kind of gear towards, because obviously as an encouragement engineer, we like to look at positivity. Do you think discipline helps you focus towards that positive goal?
absolutely. I don't think you can really be positive until you are disciplined.
Wow.
I think
Yeah.
it all starts with that. That's what I learned. I
Mhm.
wasn't I know Jordan Peterson. I don't know if you follow Jordan Peterson, but he talks a lot about routines.
Okay.
You are your routine.
Right.
You are your habits.
Yeah.
Whatever you habitually do is what you are. And my coach has always said a lot that there's nothing more. People say stay consistent. He said there's nothing more common than a consistent man, because everybody consistently does something.
Yeah.
It may be bad, but it's
Yeah.
persistence of doing something even though you don't feel like it.
Right.
And that's what I've learned about all the greats, all your billionaires, all your big coaches. Of course, I live in Alabama, and I grew up an Auburn fan,
Yeah.
and
Ooh.
Nick Saban in Alabama. They win all the time, and I've
Yeah.
actually, we've been taught to always hate Nick Saban,
Yeah.
because he wins all the time. But I've actually gained an appreciation after starting doing this, understanding that's all he does. He just
Yeah.
does the same thing every day, and he eats the same food every day.
Yeah.
He wakes up at the same time every day, and just understanding that compound interest, because I like to study the financial part of it.
Right.
Bob, when you do something every day,
Yeah.
regardless of how you feel, I mean, people don't believe it's magic. It just happens,
Yeah.
just do it. Have do have some type. You don't have to do it, but I tell everybody. I go to the gym because that's what I do, and maybe I'll do something different, throw logs around, or do something one day, but do some kind of physical routine earlier than you want to do it. It's all about starting your morning the right way, and just repeat those 3 or 4 steps every morning, like of getting up at a certain time that you don't want to get up, reading something positive, and doing some kind of physical activity, where that be running and or whatever it is. You've
Yeah.
got to start that way, and then it sets your day. You know how it is, and all the successful people do it. And it's one of those things, for some reason we weren't taught at a young age. And I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think that the reason why people don't teach that, because there's not a lot of successful people, and especially teaching public schools, or or in small towns, there's just not a lot of people that are doing that. You know what I mean? But if your dad's a multimillionaire or billionaire, you're kind of taught these habits, and that's why the rich stay richer. And it's no secret. It's just it's definitely it all comes down to discipline, I would think.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because you've got to start your day. I mean, you got to change your focus, if you will. People say, "Oh, discipline, that's that bad word." No, it's a good word. It helps you to achieve your greatness, and doing that on a consistent basis is so key. I mean, get up. You don't think, "Oh, I got to do this." Say, "I get to do it." What are you phrasing it? How your mindset going, forward? What do you say? This is the first thing. What do you say when you first get up? Let me ask you that question. What do you say when you first get up?
So it's funny, the transition I've been going through. Well, when I first started this program, it was all me. I had to get my mindset. And I think there's a lot of people that get this wrong, because I was taught, and I don't want it to come off in a weird way, because I'm still not sure how to word this, but people always say, put everybody else first, don't be selfish. And you almost have to work on yourself, Bob, first, before you can help anybody else. For instance, like on an airplane, when they say the first thing you do is put the mask on you so you can help your kids.
Yeah.
Okay. If Lane doesn't eat the proper food, wake up at the proper time, I'm not going to be in the proper mood, mindset to be able to put my family first.
Right.
And so when I first started this program, I was really just trying to cure this mindset.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, the first day that I did this, when I made my mind up, I was going to call the guy and get signed up. He sent me the meal plan. He sent me the workouts. I woke up that first morning, because I'd been waking up random times, 6:30 here, 7:30 here. And I started waking up, I think I started waking up at 4:30, which I never even knew 4:30 existed, by the way. So just to let everybody know, this isn't something I just said, hey, listen, man, this is what he's preaching. I'm going to do it. And I promise you, the first day I was cured. I was like, the mindset was gone, bro. I mean, immediately.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not like that, but I've helped enough people to know that everybody else feels the same way. It's something, in your mind, when you say, hey, listen, no more. I'm going to do this regardless. And I started doing that for a few months, and I wasn't really overweight, but I got abs and shredded in about 30, 35 days. It didn't take any time.
Yeah.
But the reason why, and a lot of people understand this, because I wasn't chasing the body. See, a lot of people are superficial. They go into fitness for a body.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't care anything about it. And it showed up. And they always say, whatever you need when you're needy, you're never going to get what you want. For instance, if you want a girl and you're really needy, they'll turn away from you.
Yeah.
But if you don't need them, they love it. And so it's the same way with the body. I mean, literally, it's in business. Business. When you need a sale, when you really need that sale, it won't come. Same thing with the body. Just learning that process of just, it'll show up when you don't need it and not chasing it. And anyways, look, you got me ranting again. I don't even know what we're talking about. What else?
No,
what was really the question? Helps. I forgot.
No, that helps. It's about discipline, allowing you to stay positive and so forth. And you've given some great examples of that, and that does, like you said, that does help. And, I've lived those cases too, when you don't expect something, boom. And that's when it will come, when you're not chasing it. So that's a good reminder to people.
Putting people first. I remember that's what you said, being selfish. I think that's what it was.
Well, yeah. Does it help you?
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Let me see. So in the mornings. Yeah, so it started. So my journey started off. I wouldn't say selfish. I need to get fixed, because you can't be present with your children. You can't put them first when you're only. And he said this. This is another good quote. So you can write this one down. Depressed people are the most selfish people on the planet.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I was like, man, this is, I've never heard anybody say this. He said, listen, if you could put their thoughts on a projector screen
Wow.
and watch what a depressed person thinks about, guess what it is?
Me,
Me,
me, me, me,
me,
me, me.
me,
Yeah.
me, me, me. And when he said that, of course, I wasn't conscious of that. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And when he phrased it like that, because everybody, is we got a soft society. They want to make everybody feel sorry because if you're mean to a depressed person, you're scared they may hurt themselves or something.
Right.
But for me, man, I needed to hear that,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, he's right. So uh, when you're depressed, quit thinking about yourself. He said
Yeah.
that if you must give away what you need. So Bob, if you're, for instance, I know you said something about a death early.
Yeah.
If you had somebody die and you're sad, he taught me the only way to cure yourself is to go find somebody who's had a death
Yeah.
and help them heal. That's
Right.
the only way you'll ever heal. And I'm sure you know that. But that goes for anything. For say I'm struggling with alcohol. I need
Mhm.
to go find somebody struggling with alcohol and help them. And
Yeah.
that's the only way you're gonna heal, and that's been true for my understanding is just give away. He would say give away what you want. So,
And I've
give
heard
away
that
that
from many
love.
preachers too.
If you need to love, if you need some love, give love away.
Yeah.
If you need some respect, give some respect away. If you need attention, give some attention. There's nothing wrong with attention, but
Yeah.
give it away, you'll get it back. So
Definitely.
that was some of the main lessons I learned. And then also, so you asked me what helps me think about when I think up in the morning, when I get up in the morning. And so you can tell I'm a bad rambler, but I go on these different. You should feel sorry for my wife. My wife hears these all the time, so I'm glad you got to listen to them.
Yeah.
So I used to wake up, and it got hard for me, Bob. To be honest with you,
Hmm.
I did this for a year and a half. I started waking up, working out, and it started getting hard for me to do that.
Hmm.
After about 3-4 months in, and I didn't know why, but now I do know why. And I'm gonna go through another quote, but
Okay.
Friedrich Nietzsche said, truth held within is poisonous.
Huh.
And so, for instance, I knew the cure. I knew what would cure people. Okay. I knew waking up early, eating good food, and working out would cure people. And by
Yeah.
the way, what I coach and what I teach is for everybody. Nobody gets a pass. Donald Trump needs me.
Yeah.
Everybody needs me. Okay. What I have is fitness, and I'm not arrogant about it. I'm just saying everybody needs a disciplined life.
Right.
Everybody needs to eat the proper food, and everybody needs some type of exercise.
Right.
Everybody. And so I knew that, but I wasn't helping people. So I
Wow.
started to, man, that mindset started going negative again. And I knew I had to tell people, but my coach told me I was being selfish.
Yeah.
He said, you're being selfish because you're not opening up and telling people.
Right.
And so that's where the story is now. That's why I started posting on social media, because I was always told people that post on social media are arrogant. People that take their shirts off, they're arrogant. They're, you go down the list of things. When you see a bodybuilder, let's be honest, you
Yeah.
see people with their shirts off, you judge them. But most of the time, it's insecurities, and for most people, that they are arrogant. But what he taught me is if you give people a solution, if you show them how to get what you got, it's not. So,
Right.
Bob, if you're a multimillionaire and you're not helping people make money, you're arrogant. It's only when you help people. And so that's what I learned, man. That's how I kind of really come over that. So when I wake up in the morning, when I wake up in the morning, I think about my clients. I think about the people I'm helping. Because like I said, this is nothing to do with bodybuilding. I'm
Right.
helping people get families back. I'm helping people get confidence back, killing depression, getting rid of alcoholism. Like there is a cure for alcohol.
Right.
It's we'll go down that, but there's a cure for drugs and
Yeah.
mental health and antidepressants and you know. Anyways, this is the cure, and so that's my spiel.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, that helps give some light to people. I think it gives people hope. I really appreciate that you're sharing this with us. Tell people, Lane, tell us where they can get a hold of you, how they can follow you, so that they can get what they need as well. I mean, this is the best part.
Well, you said my link doesn't work, so I don't even really know. We'll have to put it on there. It's Lane, Lane, Bullger on Instagram, and Lane Bulger on Facebook. I guess we'll have to add the links to it. And then, hey, I tell people my phone number. Y'all can text me, call me, whatever. My phone number is 256-404-4859.
Wow.
And like I said, if I don't answer, me and Bob, I'm obviously at a Dollar General here in my hometown because I don't have service at my house. So if you guys call and I don't answer, that's what it is. And we're working on getting Starlink and getting some service out there. So yeah, call me and text me there, and we can definitely get you help. And I've learned this, Bob, the people who don't think they need me the most.
Right.
So
definitely
everybody needs this, man, and you can get it from anywhere.
Just to clarify, Lane Bullger on Instagram.
Okay, so this is a real quick side note. People can't say my last name very well, so they say Bugler, Booger, Burger. So I put 2 L's in there because it's Bull, Bullger. That's my Instagram handle.
Gotcha.
So I changed my name on Instagram so people would know, and it's Bulger Fit, Bullger. But yeah, you can type on Facebook. It's just Lane Bulger with 1 L. Yeah. Instagram, I did 2 L's.
Gotcha.
I don't know what I was thinking, but that's why I did that.
Hey, no, that's good to know. I appreciate that. I wanted to make sure because I'm like, oh, I'm spelling it wrong, but no, we're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you people in the area, I mean, and you're listening to this, obviously Lane does a lot of things. He's got the mindset of an achiever. Lane, I want to thank you for taking the time today for being a guest on the Encouragement Engineering Podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate you.
Hey, thank you. You have a great one.
You too.
All right.